Good morning. The COT data video for the week beginning the 31st of March 2025. We have a thing called Liberation Day next week, which is where Trump's policies are going to come into effect, the tariffs. So obviously that should be priced in by now, but there we may see some knee-jerk reaction on some instruments, and perhaps it could be a little bit risk-off, to be honest with you, but it will completely depend on herd behaviour and their sentiment. Of course, if they think it's going to be really bad, they'll sell en masse, and then we can rally. So someone asked me a couple of weeks ago, how do I get the COT file? You have to come into Discord, and you'll come into I think the rules. That's where you'll come into the COT, and you have to scroll down. And your Discord will be locked, by the way, so you won't get all of this. So you need to unlock it at Patreon. And once you've unlocked it, and you can get access to the COT report. So what you need to do is come here, you're going to download it, and then you're going to right click it, and what you need to do, you need to unblock it. Okay, so it's already been unblocked. There's a checkbox here that you need to tick, and it's the second time I've made this video because I recorded it and the screen was blank. Because what happened is that I made a live stream yesterday, and the OBS software, it uses a thing called scenes, and I was using the wrong scene, and now it should be fine, hopefully. So we can double click it, and after unblocking it, obviously. And what had happened is that we hadn't really seen too much moves, nothing really massive. Chart page, and we're going to go to the move chart. So now non-comms, because we're just really interested in the banks and institutions. We could look at the comms, the commercials, the small traders. We could also look at the hedge funds as well, which you can do because it's all down here. Okay, so the euros ticked higher, 59,000 to 65, so quite an increase. The dollar has also ticked higher, but a very, very small amount. Okay, so there's the Euro USD set up for a long, right? Okay, let's look at the yen. The yen had a little bit of a breather, and it's ticked higher slightly again, an increase of 3,000, yeah, more or less, 2 to 3,000 contracts increase. So EJ would be quite tricky because you can see they're both ascending. Okay, so you might want to be a little bit cautious about that one. Aussie on, euro off. We've ticked lower, so we already were negative, and we're more negative than the week prior. So this is a 7,000 increase of the shorts from the banks. So fairly bearish. 77. Yeah, we're just holding that. Yeah, we're just holding that support there, which I think it may break. Aussie off, pound on. Now the pound's of note because the UK are primarily a services export country, and so much is that we might be not too worse off when it comes to the tariffs compared to like the Eurozone, South Korea, because of automobiles, and Japan as well. So the pound could probably favour. It could be a little bit resilient to the tariff nonsense and the news, and it's a bit of a nuisance as well, but I can't blame Trump for doing it. So that's probably a reason for that to tick higher, and it really has quite moved actually, 29,000 to 44,000. So the pound probably could do okay. And while I'm talking about the pound, I'm going to make a video. It's going to be a case study about the order book and how I knew with about 95% probability that we were going to shoot higher and get the stop loss cluster on the pound USD. And so I'll do that video for you guys so you can know how to interpret the order book and how to use it as a support and resistance. And what happened is that they brought their stops lower on pound USD because they were convinced that we were going to fall, and then bringing it lower, it increased its the likelihood, the magnitude of that probability increased because they brought their stops lower. the market makers like, well, we can grab that, and they just pushed price, and we took it, and it's all documented as well, which is cool. So I'm going to do that video for you guys, so you can just see how it works, and it might be a good, well, it'll be an excellent demonstration how to use the order book. So no, that's something for tomorrow, I think. So that's the pound, so fairly strong. And take that off. CAD's been struggling, but we're probably going to be okay because we didn't break that low. We had a big reversal, but we didn't break it, and it was sort of teetering, and we're going up a little bit higher. Still quite negative though, at minus 129,000. So, you know, not great, but we're getting off the low there. So that's CAD. So ideally, if you were to look into long CAD, you'd probably want it above the 0 line. We've got a long way to go, and this is because of the oil as well. The oil's been under a bit of pressure. Gold and gold ticked lower, but we are still very strong though. Obviously, just a little bit of a breather. 249 from 257. So there's a little bit of a disconnect because we're getting all-time highs. And the COT data is signaling a little bit of a breather. We didn't break that high, and still got that low for support. So we might just go sideways. I was speculating that we might have a little breather on the spot gold, and then we can bounce again. It's definitely looking for buy the dips. Okay. And gold off, and then we can look at, well, the peso did increase when I made the video just now, so that's telling us that they're not too worried about Mexico and you know, the consequences of the tariffs. So that's fine. I don't think anyone trades that anyway. But New Zealand dollar, and I think it may be coming back into that range. So we've chopped up and down for ages and ages and ages. I wonder whether or not we're going to come back in there again. Slight tick lower, however. Okay, so just minus 41,000. So it's not that great. I've got a feeling that we're going to probably do this, and then we're going to be back in this top, which would be pretty horrible. New Zealand dollar off, and then Swiss franc. And then that's sideways as per. So I'll do this video for you guys, the case study on the order book. And it should be a really good demonstration and example how to use it. And it's really interesting because what it is, it's an 8-hour live feed, but I'll condense it into like 5-10 minutes, and I'll put like bullet points and things like that. And I'll show you how the order book evolved, and you can see like the behavior of the crowd as well, and how they respond to price, and how the market makers bully the retail traders. And I can show you as well. It's all documented on the live feed. So hopefully this is useful, and hopefully that video will be useful as well. I'm going to make it now, and I'll probably produce it for tomorrow, and so you can have a look at that tomorrow. And I'm away on Monday as well.